My topic is the same under the same line on Copernicus and in data, but on the legal aspects, mainly on its open data policy. And I just, as an introduction, I started this topic, this research. My motivation of this research was because before I was working at the Mexican Space Agency, and in 2014, the scientific community came to us and requested how to access Copernicus data. And at the time, we didn't know what was Copernicus data. And when they told us, oh, it is for free and it is open, just we want to know more about it. And we couldn't understand what is data for free. We only knew Landsat, but we didn't know there was more options. And this is how I started this research journey, and inspired by basically scientists talking about Copernicus. So this is just an overview. As you all know what is Copernicus, but just for the sake of clarity, Copernicus is this Earth observation civil program from the European Union that is coordinated by the Commission, and it is assisted by European agencies, ESA, and the private sector. And my main message in this slide is that Copernicus' success, I would like to say that it's its open data policy. And it's because of precisely this full, free, and open, as they define it, they have come with the Copernicus ecosystem, which is a tailored Earth observation system, European, in which it has provided all these areas of development on the upstream, on the midstream, and also on the downstream, that at the end, as this analogy mentions it, has flourished into the user uptake. And the Commission has also aimed to provide the Earth observation data a user value, so this can be exploited for societal benefits and economic benefits. Nevertheless, of what we could see that it is a success, the open data policy has been recently criticized, or some skepticals of this policy have been merged in the EU, well, in the EU political level, arguing that Copernicus is feeding the US big tech giants and could hamper the European competitiveness. So if this is the case, then it has been put into question, should we then modify the Copernicus data policy by either modifying it under any of its pillars of full, free, and open? So I try to answer this question in my thesis by saying under which circumstances can this be taken into consideration, or even so, if we could even take this into consideration. So if this really is valid. The main message that I want to convey here is that the Copernicus program is not only a market tool, but it is also a public good that aims to foster not only economic, but also societal benefits. And in my opinion, this should be preserved for the stewardship of the environment, as it was its core goal in the law. So, of course, it is important that the Commission should preserve the European Union competitiveness, but also it should be important to take into consideration that there are also environmental interests that need to be protected, and most importantly, the interest of the scientific community, not only in Europe but also worldwide, to have access to this information is crucial to guarantee the accuracy of all these product development and all other technologies that are as well focused on the environment. And also, it is important to note that Copernicus is facing the same paradox as other cases where the environment faces economic interest, and how can we balance both of them to achieve the best and an optimal result. So in the event that, yes, it's called the GAFAs, these Google and Amazon provide probably a risk or pose of threat on the economic aspect, it is need to be taken into consideration that also the benefits that they provide as a source of information are also very, very valid for the scientists to take also the Copernicus data and develop such products that at the end will pursue this user value, mainly for the societal benefits, including the protection of the environment. So this is an overview, very in a nutshell, of this polemic topic, if I can say polemic, or this idea, this conception that has been occurred. And if I come then to the thoughts on the gender equality perspective in academia, in my opinion, I've seen that in the area of space law, it is clear that it has been a more man predominance as in the space sector as well. But recently, I've been looking at my students in the Master Space Law, and in a group of 20 people that we have, 15 students are female. So then we can say that it is shifting, and hopefully in a good way, where there are more opportunities, and rightly, to impulse women in education and in their career. However, I'll see that, of course, there's still room of improvement, because, for example, when I went to the space policy conference that happened in January in Europe, mainly the assistants were men. There were few women. We were still there, but there were few. And this was noticed by the speech of the Vice President of the Commission, Mrs. Vestager, when she addressed her opening speech, and then she rightly says, "Good morning, men, gentlemen, gentlemen, gentlemen." So we all, of course, smile at that this was a fact, and mainly the people who applauded were women, because it is true that this is still the case. And I think that, as previously has been mentioned, education is crucial, but it's also crucial to encourage women to take risks and also be bold as men, because in academia also it's not new that women are very dedicated to their classes. They take notes, and almost they always get the best grades. So why this is not reflected in the professional career? I would say that, in my opinion, I would say that it still needs room for empowering them, although, of course, the society or also even the system to cope, so the women can cope with their wishes and desires of raising a family, but at the same pursue a career that before, of course, was not even an option, and now it could be possible. But if we encourage them to do so and take these risks, just to finalize this thought, I think that now this is a new generation that has more empowerment, and I would say that the future is promising as long as we encourage them to take these risks. So we can, as we both have equal capacities, men or women have equal capacities to do so. So I think this should be the way to go.